Welcome to another episode of Follow the Brand TV. I am your host, Grant McGaugh, CEO of 5-Star BDM, a 5-star personal brand and business development company. I want to take you on a journey through another deep dive into the world of personal branding and business development using compelling personal stories, business conversations, and tips to improve your brand. By listening to the Follow the Brand TV series, you will differentiate yourself from the competition and build trust with prospective clients and employers. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Make it one that will set you apart, build confidence, and reflect who you are. Building your 5-star personal brand is a great way to improve your skills and knowledge. If you have any questions for me or any of my guests, please email me at grant.mcgaugh@5starbdm.com. Now, let's begin with our next episode on the Follow the Brand TV.
Five-Star BDM, Brand Development Masters, is a professional consulting and advisory group keenly focused on business development services for the small to mid-sized business and entrepreneurs. Although every business is unique, they often share business development challenges that can be addressed through smart branding. Services include process improvement and operations, digital strategy and transformation, business intelligence, digital marketing, and personal branding. Our business and personal branding company has helped a number of professionals and organizations to optimize and grow. This results in more business, more opportunities, better reach, positive outcomes. Visit www.5starbdm.com today to learn more.
Amazon, Netflix, Uber. What do these brands know that most don't? They've mastered the art of buyer psychology. While most businesses struggle to understand what truly drives their customers, these market leaders have cracked the code. So what's their secret? It comes down to 4 key levers: convenience, price transparency, user experience, and trust. Most companies focus on 1 or 2, maybe 3 if they're ambitious, but the best brands deliver on all 4, every single time. That's what sets them apart from the competition. Think about it. When you order from Amazon, it's fast and easy. You know exactly what you're paying for, the process is seamless, and you trust your order will arrive. Netflix makes it simple to find something to watch, shows you clear pricing, offers a smooth experience, and you trust them with your data. Uber? Same story. These brands don't make you choose between convenience and trust, or between price and experience. They give you everything, and the results speak for themselves. One regional service company applied this exact framework and saw their customer retention jump from 67% to 89% in just 1 year. That's the power of understanding buyer psychology. But here's the thing. It's not always easy. Even Amazon lost money for years before becoming a giant. Resilience is part of the journey. So, are you making trade-offs your competitors aren't? Or are you ready to deliver on all 4 levers and become a market leader? Stop the hassle. Start the growth. Find out how at 5starbdm.com.
Welcome, everybody, to the Follow Brand Podcast. This is your host, Grant McGaugh, and I am in my Midwest office in Omaha, Nebraska, and I get an opportunity to speak to someone just a little bit south of me in the Super Bowl country, as I call it, Super Bowl country, Kansas City, Missouri. We got Jim Brantley. He is going to talk to us about his strategy, what he does for Vistas Chair. That's really, really exciting. He's written a couple books around this. He helps CEOs to get to that next level, and I'd say he's been fairly successful in doing that. So, Jim, would you like to introduce yourself?
Grant, thank you. I'm down in I'm in a suburb of Kansas City, Chiefs Kingdom, as we like like to call it, and we need to get back to our winning ways this year for sure. But I'm a Midwesterner. I grew up in the Midwest. I've lived here all my life. I'm an entrepreneur by I don't know by what, by just experience. I've started 7 companies, 4 for myself, 3 for other large organizations. I like to create new products, new divisions, new services. And about 3 years ago, I started this journey with Vistage, where I coach other leaders, and my mindset's always about growth. Growth as a person, growth as a leader, growth as a business. That's what my true passion is all about.
I love that, man. And so this is a no hassle brand episode, right? The no hassle king, Jim, has just joined us. Now you've branded yourself as the no hassle king, and in my brave blueprint strategy, my own brave blueprint, one key pillar is authenticity, and that's showing up with a clear, bold identity. I want to ask you, how did you arrive at this authentic positioning? How do you help CEOs embrace a brand that feels true to them?
Well, it came from writing my 2 books. My first book was called The Unconventional Thinking of Dominant Companies. And in that book, I outlined how Amazon became that juggernaut that they still are, how they blew past Walmart, how Netflix put Blockbuster out of business, and how Uber decimated the cab industry. And I even have you'll get this. I even have a strong mention of Nebraska Furniture Mart. When years ago when they came to Kansas City, they basically put every other furniture appliance business company out of business, and so I believe they follow a formula. They understand buyer psychology better than anyone, and I took this formula and I translated it into my second book called Stop the Hassle. Okay, and therefore parlayed that into the No Hassle King. And here's my formula that I believed Amazon, Netflix, Uber, Nebraska Furniture Mart used, and that every company should and can use. So I believe that, and Grant, you and I are buyers. We may not be professional buyers, that's all we do, but we buy things every day. Sure. And I believe there's 4 major criteria by which we make those buying decisions. By what we buy and from whom. And number 1 is convenience. As a buyer, we're looking for convenience. We want to save time. We want to save effort. We want simple. We want easy. We don't want a more complex life. So all things being equal, if something's more convenient, we buyers lean that direction. We don't drive across town to get our coffee in the morning. It's going to be somewhere close. Number 2 is price. We want a competitive price, not necessarily the lowest, but what we really want is pricing transparency. By that I mean we want to know what we're going to spend in advance of that purchase. Therefore, sometimes we get sideways with airlines who have these hidden fees. Going to a doctor, we don't always know what we're spending, or a hospital, or an attorney. An attorney, we might know that we're spending several $100s per hour. We just never know how many hours, and that makes us uncomfortable. We don't like that. Number 3 is user experience. We have this need to be treated like we're the vendor or seller's only customer. We want responsiveness. We got questions. I want to know right away. I want you to live to whatever commitment you make. If that's a brand promise, I want you to live with that. If it's like going into a retail store, that experience, I want well lit. I want clean. I want the shelves stocked. I want adequate help in the store. I want to feel safe. So that experience is pretty wide ranging and based on the type of business you're on. And number 4 is trust. Mm-hmm. We want to trust that when we buy something, we have this perception in our head of what we're getting, and we want to get that. Well, how do we trust that we're going to get that? guarantees, warranties, testimonials, references. How long have they been in business? Do they won awards? Are they specializing in a certain segment? Now, when you do all four of those, me as a buyer, I don't have an excuse not to. If you're convenient, priced competitively and transparently, you gave me a great user experience and I trust you, I don't have an excuse not to. When you do not provide those, it's creating a hassle. If you're not convenient, if you take me more time than I should spend to buy from you, or your product doesn't save me time and doesn't make my life easier, that's a hassle. When the price isn't competitive, and especially when it's not transparent, that's a hassle. When I don't get treated well, when that experience, that's a hassle. And then when I can't trust you, that's a hassle. So therefore, stop the hassle. I preach all the time. The better you understand we buyers, the better you as a company can match your offering to what we're looking for and stop that hassle. And you will grow organically when you do that. People will tell other people, hey, I bought from Grant and it was great. The experience was great. Pricing was competitive. It was very convenient. And I can trust it because he had guarantee. So people will talk to other people and make it viral when you deliver on all four. Mostly, though, most companies have a conscious trade-off where they're going to give up one of those in exchange for another. So, I give you this example, Jiffy Lube. They're going to give you convenience, but it's going to come at a cost. Walmart's going to give you very low prices, but hope you like checking yourself out. The stores aren't necessarily, as clean and organized as, say, a Target seemed to be. Nordstrom, going to give you great experience, great merchandise, stores, personal shoppers, but again, comes at a price. So most companies have some conscious trade-off because it's very difficult to hit on all four. It just is. But those who have, we just don't have excuses not to buy from them, and they're so that's what my books are all about. That's what I preach. That's why I refer to myself as the no hassle king.
Well, I tell you, and you're being kind because as you take us through that type of framework that you just gave us, and I started thinking about my own experience, especially recently, like with the airline, right? The airline. Oh my! I think sometimes the companies, because they know they have you, they take some of that for granted, right? And then, but are you getting the repeat business? Because if you hassle people too much, you'll probably lose that business, right?
Absolutely.
That's what it comes down to, right? And so in your book, and I happen to look at this because I think it's so important. You have what you call the hassle score, and you kind of introduce this in your book. And I know one of my pillars is all about excellence, and we try to strive for excellence, what you just alluded to, which is about creating measurable frameworks for success. That's what my excellence is all about. My question for you is this. How can leaders apply, especially companies that you just talked about, apply your hassle score? And maybe we're talking about the CEO level, as they apply this hassle score to drive excellence in both customer and employee experiences.
Yeah, because it all starts with the leader. So my hassle score, I say this. There is no national standard for convenience, no national standard for user experience, no national standard for trust or price. So I tell leaders it's all about measuring yourself against your most direct competitors. And I use this analogy, Grant. We kind of already talked about it a little bit, so I'm going to use this analogy again. Obviously, I'm a huge Andy Reid fan.
Yeah.
Andy Reid doesn't show up at Arrowhead Stadium on Sunday morning and go, let's see, who are we playing? I wonder if they like to run the ball, pass the ball. I wonder what kind of defense they play. They play zone, man, cover two. Well, I guess we'll just find out. No, he knows They know who they're playing, they study them, and they find out their weaknesses, and they try and exploit their weaknesses, just like that team's going to try and exploit the Chiefs' weaknesses. So I tell leaders, understand your competitors, study them, buy from them. How convenient was it? How were they priced? What kind of experience? How did you trust them? How do you stack up against those competitors? Because guess what? If you do not stack up well, you're going to invite a startup, a competitor who's going to say, wait a minute, this company or this industry has a weakness. You know, the cab industry had so many weaknesses that Uber said, man, we're going to exploit that. We're going to use cars that people drive every day. We're not going to have plexiglass. They're going to come to you. We're going to show them the price, exactly what it's going to be in advance. When you get to the destination, you just walk away. You don't have to fumble, have the cabbie say cash, cash. You know, yeah. They made that experience so much better. And so when you don't pay attention to your competitors and you don't hit on those 4 criteria, you're inviting startups and competitors to come in. But the target is always moving. I suggest because you started and you were very convenient, doesn't mean you can just, got that done. No, you have, like AI, how can you leverage AI, to take costs out, to reduce price, or can you leverage AI to be more convenient? Can you leverage it to provide a better experience? Constantly be evaluating that. So that's what I preach.
That is so important as you brought that up, because you've got to have an understanding, especially when you're going against, the team on the other side of the ball is definitely coming to exploit your weaknesses, right? Now you've gone from running logistics firms to coaching CEOs. And then in my model, when in this particular model, I talk about resilience. Right? Because you've got to be resilient, what you just alluded to. Even though you might have, hey, we've got this running and it's operating, but you got to go back and then retweak what you're doing because it's constantly changing. The ball is constantly moving and shifting and changing. If you ever watch an NFL game, you'll go from the first quarter to fourth quarter, and you'll begin to see how they almost reinvent themselves on the field sometimes because of the challenges that they face. My question is this. What challenges did you face in that transition from logistic firms to coaching CEOs? And then how can leaders build resilience when stepping into a new identity or role?
Yeah, my transition was not easy. I had never been an executive coach before. And I kind of thought I knew what coaching was, but I didn't. And I have taken training, multiple steps of training to understand what coaching really is. So much so that I encourage my leaders to become coaches. I believe the very best leaders are coaches. Yeah, and again, I hate to go back to another football and Andy Reid analogy, but I will. I tell people that I don't listen to Andy Reid press conferences. I don't need to, because I can tell you exactly what he's going to say. If they take a loss, well, that's on me. I didn't give him enough play. I didn't have him ready. If there was a player who struggled, he's going to say, oh, he's a great kid, loves the game, works his tail off. And that's exactly why players love playing for him. Mm-hmm. And I told this story to my CEOs one day. I walked in and I started the meeting this way. Hey, do any of you know where Steve Spagnuolo went to school? Nobody did. I said, okay, he went to Springfield College. I don't even know which Springfield. Do any of you know what position he played for Springfield College? Nobody knew. Okay, he was a wide receiver. Do any of you know if he played in the NFL? They didn't know. No, he didn't. So tell me this. How did Steve Spagnuolo, one of the most respected defensive coordinators in the NFL, who played on the offensive side of the ball, become one of the most respected and best defensive coordinators in the NFL, who is inspiring and coaching multimillionaires? Mm-hmm. And he's inspiring him so much They went out and created a T-shirt that said, "In Spags We Trust." How many of you have any of your employees or team create a shirt that "In You We Trust"? I said, so it's all about inspiring. You can't force anybody to improve. You can't force anybody to do their best. You can't force them to be motivated. You have to inspire them. And that is coaching. So, but to your second part of the question on resilience, I get asked this a lot. They say, "Jim, what's the best piece of advice you would give to an entrepreneur, a leader?" And I say this. I said, I've started 7 companies over my career, and not a one of them has gone according to plan. Yep, we create these elaborate financial forecasts, these business plans, these strategies, and they never go according to plan. It always takes much longer. It's always much harder. Something that you can't control. Well, it might be a pandemic, could be tariffs. Something is going to happen where it's going to throw you back. You're going to have bumps in the road, and you got to be resilient. You got to have grit. Okay? But if you know it's not going to be a smooth road, if you know there are going to be bumps, plan on it and know that you've got to pull on that resilience string when it hits. That's the advice I give them. So you're exactly right. The very best leaders have to be resilient, because not every day is all sunshine and orange juice. It can be some real challenges thrown your way.
Oh, big time. And to your point, it's sometimes you just underestimate the challenge that you're going to have. What you just said, especially I call the mountain of resilience that you're going to go against. Now, what the cool factor is, if you have someone like yourself who's gone through this type of adversity, or they've had to tell their story around resistance, and they can tell you, just by looking at you, like, look, you're going to have to do some things to make some changes, because you're not at a level that you're going to be able to power through the things that you're going to come across, right? So at the heart of what I call my brave framework vision, and that's seeing beyond yourself, because you've got to be able to do that. My question is, how does Vista's peer advisory model expand a CEO's vision, and what makes it more powerful than working with a single consultant?
Yeah, great question. So when I started down this path, it occurred to me, this analogy or example. I said, for anybody who's become a parent, when you walk out of the hospital after the second or third day with that newborn, the hospital did not give you this binder on, here's everything you need to do and know for the next 20 years on how to raise a child. They don't do that. Oh my God, if I'm a first-time parent. All right, so, okay, I might lean on mom and dad, okay? But you know what? At the end of the day, that's a whole different generation. They're not living with me on the front lines. They don't really understand. So what do? You go consult other parents. And I mean, you do that throughout their entire adolescent journey. Well, Johnny's not doing his homework, or Susie's not, eating right, and they got this, that. It's a peer group of parents. And so I think that the same thing applies in business. When you can surround yourself with trusted and other like-minded leaders, and they may not be in your particular industry, that doesn't really matter. Matter of fact, we don't allow that in our Vistage group. But you're going to get a lot of different perspectives. You're going to get a lot of different experience, and you're going to get a lot of different brain power. And if you go it alone, you think you know all the answers and you got all the answers, it's going to be a rough journey. Where if you've got others you can trust and say, and be vulnerable, hey man, I'm having this struggle, and I just want others to kind of weigh in and help me, you're going to get a lot of knowledge and a lot of input that will help you. And I believe in the old adage, it's lonely at the top. That is very, very true. You might have a team, but that team has their own, they have their own agenda, if you will, their own dreams. And so sometimes it's lonely. You just need somebody to vent with, right? Just somebody to have an ear for. Well, that's what a peer group really is all about. And you will get a lot of wisdom. You'll get a lot of best practices, shared that will help you along this difficult journey of leadership. And so that's the power of a peer group. And we call it a peer advisory group, because you're giving advice to each other all the time. And we go through a process, Grant. We meet once a month. I ask my leaders, I want you to take a full day to work on your business, not in it. And we do a part of that meeting we call issue processing. Who's facing a challenge? Who's facing an issue? Well, guess what? 80% of those issues are it's about people. Mm-hmm. And that's a dynamic that's people are that's a wild ride when you have lots of different people with lots of different personalities and behaviors, and leaders have to deal with that. And so they will really consult with each other. Well, how do I handle this kind of behavior and that kind of behavior and the like?
Now that's important. The human intelligence, the HI in the room, I think we are starting to really understand that component as the world kind of engages in artificial intelligence even today. And they're starting to realize artificial intelligence and how it works is more probabilistic, meaning it doesn't always come out with the exact same answer every single time. There's deterministic, and then there's what AI is doing is giving you options and answers for every single thing. But the human element is kind of the same. You can say the same thing to the same group of people, and you'll probably get 10 different understanding and variables as a part of that. You're like, wow, did I say 10 different things? I don't think so, but that's what you're dealing with. Now, you said something I think is so important. That is that CEO, the isolation and the vulnerability of the position that you're in. And I know that leaders often feel pressure to always project strength. And in my Brave work, I emphasize boldness through vulnerability. My question is, how do you create a space where CEOs can be bold enough to be vulnerable? and what breakthroughs usually happen as a result of that?
It's hard. You nailed it. Leaders believe they have to be the strong person. And I believe all too often they put on this facade. I got this, I'm tough, I've made it, I'm going to make this happen. And there are too many leaders who I believe they think vulnerability is weakness, okay? But you know what happens when you are truly vulnerable? Guess what we humans want to do? We want to help. And whether it's in a peer group where you come and say, hey, folks, I've got this challenge and I think I know what I want to do, but I'm not really sure. I just want some help. You know what? When you go to your employees and your team and say, team, we're facing this challenge. I think I know what we ought to do, but I really want your input because I'm not 100% sure. That's vulnerability, but guess what they're going to want to do? They're going to want to help you, even though you're the leader. It's not any lack of disrespect. We humans have this nature where we want to reach out and help others. But you gotta send the signal that I am looking for help, and that's vulnerable. So it's really hard to get some leaders, past that facade. I'm tough, I'm strong, I got this, I'm going to do it. And to being, hey, I don't have all the answers. And I claim that vulnerability, if you're vulnerable, you want to learn.
Yeah.
Vulnerable people read books, they listen to others, they strive to learn. So the best leaders are lifelong learners. They're curious, so they want more and more information. But there are people out there, and I've met them. Nope, they're not going to show any vulnerability, and they put this facade on that's fake.
Yeah. And that's already kind of, BS in the background. Like, yeah, everybody needs some assistance and some help. Like, you have a certain skill set, a certain strength that you have. But in any SWOT analysis, right, there's strengths, there's weaknesses, there's opportunities, and there's threats. And we all have these things. It's just, do you understand where you sit in relation to all those things at one time? Now, one thing I liked about yourself, you talk about the question you can't Google. You say you can't Google, what am I not doing that I should be doing? And in my framework in BRIG, that relates to vision and excellence. And that's seeing blind spots before they become barriers. If you could you share a story where asking that question changed a leader's trajectory?
Yeah, about the blind spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes here's my experience. In a CEO peer advisory group, number one, people who come into the group, they've got to trust the group first. So they're not going to open up, and it's hard to figure out their blind spot if they don't open up and trust. So what I do is I do one-on-one coaching with each of my leaders. And, in my, coaching training, I've learned how to ask the questions that need to be asked, the right questions, the non-judgmental questions, getting them to open up. Because what I've learned is that everybody makes a decision, or every decision is made based on values and beliefs. Okay. Well, guess when those values and beliefs were really formed? They're formed as in our younger years. Okay. That's especially being raised by your parents. You start getting your values, you start believing things, and that's how, and so then there become, there are self-limiting beliefs. And again, this is a little bit of vulnerability where they have a belief that limits themselves. And so as a coach, in the questions I ask, I have to get down into an emotional level. What's really going on here? Is that what you really, truly believe? What makes you believe that? And what if that wasn't true? How would you react? Okay. So by getting deep on a one-on-one, because I think a blind spot is really kind of a self-limiting belief in some sense, by getting into those deep questions, getting them into thinking about, well, what value, what belief is driving what you're thinking, and is it really true? If this wasn't true, how would you react? And just going through that back and forth, getting them into that mindset, is what becomes really, really important in my mind to eliminate the blind spots.
That is, you nailed it there. I think that anybody listening to this, they need to rewind, hit the rewind button, listen to it again, because getting deep beyond the surface, really seeing what's beneath your feelings, the thoughts that you have, your daily habits is so important. I always look at the iceberg effect. Only 30% of an iceberg is visible. 70% is not visible, and it's underneath the surface. But sometimes you don't always get a chance to see that, so you can help somebody to be able to see certain things and make adjustments, and then they can move forward. Now, you built a platform as a speaker and a thought leader. And I'm all about boldness. I'm all about authenticity as keys to personal branding. And if you would like, just share some advice that you would give to leaders who want to stand out as an authentic voice in their industry.
My, if they want to be, okay, I'll say this. I'm going to start here
Yeah.
because this is one of the challenges with leaders. Most leaders get in their position due to a skill set, an expertise, or knowledge. Oh, I graduated school with an engineering degree. I became really good with that. I started my own company. Now I'm the leader. Okay. And if you go back and ask them, well, how much real leadership training did you get? Where did you learn to motivate, inspire, influence other people? Because at the end of the day, I don't care what business you're in a people business. You've got customers who are people, you've got employees who are people, you've got vendors who are people. How do you deal with people? Where did you get that training? Okay. And so, and this is what I encourage them. I say, hey, if you work with me, I'm going to try and help you become a coach. And especially in this multi-generational workforce that leaders deal with. I joke about this. You can tell I got a little bit of gray hair. I'm a boomer.
Yeah.
And I joke about this. Being a boomer, I grew up in the carrot and the stick era. But I don't remember the carrot. I do remember the stick.
That's right.
Well, you know, Gen Z and millennials, they all have different values and they think differently. And as a leader, you got to understand that. What are their overall values? How do they really think? And so by coaching, becoming a coach, learning how to ask the questions, and engage them the way they really want to be engaged. You know, that's a skill you're not probably, have learned in school or maybe beyond. It takes post-education, real life education, to do that.
I tell you, this has been wonderful, Jim. We're coming to the conclusion of our podcast, and I always like to do this in the moment. I like to ask my guest, how did they feel during this interview? Meaning you've done a lot of different podcast interviews. You've talked to a lot of different people. You've been on stages. This is your first opportunity to be on the Follow the Brand podcast with Grant McGaw. What kind of feedback would you give me?
Oh, I love, I've been on a lot of podcasts and nobody's asked me about resiliency. Okay. And I love that from you because you recognize what it takes. And I think out of any, that has got to be in one of the top 3 characteristics or traits of a leader because it isn't always going to go your way. So that's what I appreciate about you, just reminding me of that and how important it is. And I think, I don't know, maybe I'm biased, but today's world, I think it's too easy to quit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's just too many exit avenues you can take. Yeah, you got to know when to quit, but have you been resilient enough to try every avenue you can try? Have you gotten help from others so that you can be more resilient and keep at it? I had a mentor early in my professional career that told me, before you can succeed, you must fail. So, well, you don't know what success is, and I've kept that, and I have failed, and I appreciate every little success that I hope I get.
No, that is so. First of all, it's very authentic, and the resiliency factor is paramount even in today's world, in 2025, in a world that you can get instant gratification, and you think that everything is just very, very simple. You can just go to the store, grab you something to eat, and go home. You don't realize that farmer worked a lot of hours to produce those things, and everything along that supply chain had to be, just right in order for you to have that kind of very quick result. And I love how you stated, in the very beginning of this podcast, those 4 elements of success, that is very difficult. It's a constant moving target. So if you're not resilient in what you're doing and you come across a little bit of failure, and I think, my 62 years now on this planet, I've known more failure than success, but I think it's relative, right? How do you see failure? How do you see success? A lot of times it's just a learning experience, and you don't want to think about this. Like, you know what? In order to learn that skill, it's really going to take you 3 to 5 years, not 3 to 5 weeks. So like, and sometimes like you can either accept that or not. But if you do your research and your due diligence, you'll see that most people, if you really peel back that onion and go back to that iceberg effect I talked about, and talk about, hey, you're seeing, you talk about the Amazons and the eBays and that, and you don't realize they lost money. They were, in relative things, they were failures for a long time, but they were failing forward. And then, but they stayed at it. And I tell people, read Bezos' story. I think it was like 10 years they made no money, right?
He was vilified for burning cash, but he was steadfast that the customer was the top of the chain. And boy, you talk about resilient. That's a great lesson in resiliency right there. I love you mentioning that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So before we conclude, you've got to tell us how to contact you. Tell us, a little bit, because this is I think people that are listening to this are saying, hey, I think I can utilize these services. So tell them a little bit about Vistage, what they can do, and then how they can contact you.
Yeah, I'm a Vistage chair. You can find me through Vistage.com. I'm a very active LinkedIn user, so find me, Jim Bramlett, there. My website is jimbramlett.com, and I have a second website called strategies2grow.com. So you can reach out to me. I love helping. I'm a servant leader. Anything I can do to help others, I'm going to do. So please reach out, and I'm happy to help. And Grant, thank you for what you do, helping leaders and others think through life, because it's a challenge.
It absolutely is. But when we can share, this is kind of a peer discussion between myself and yourself, and this is how we all get better and we can move forward in understanding our journey. And I encourage your entire audience to listen to all the episodes and Follow Brand at 5-Star BDM. That is the number 5. That is star. B for brand, D for development, Informasters.com. This has been wonderful. I want to thank you again, and much success to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Thanks, Grant.
You're welcome.
Man, who's your favorite podcaster? Man, Grant, man. I love Grant's podcast. Well, who's Grant? I'm going to send you the link. I love Grant.
I love the interview. I've done a lot of these, and this is a great one. It's always great to talk to people who know what they're doing, and it's clear you're a great host, and you've done this many times before.
I feel great that we're having this conversation here. Met a new person in business who I previously didn't know.
It was an amazing podcast. Grant is an amazing interviewer. I learned a lot.
Really enjoyed this. Great questions, great talk track. Super appreciate you having me on. It's been a very fun episode to talk about a lot of things that I don't always get to dive into. So this has been a fantastic conversation.
I wouldn't be where I am here today, of course, not on this stage. However, not in my current business projection and my current business model without working with you.
The difference between influence and legacy, it's the platform that carries your voice. You're not visible because you lack talent. You're visible because your brand doesn't speak. I've built 5-Star BDM to change that. Most leaders have the expertise, but not the presence, the vision, but not the vehicle. Across 3 cities, one brand is helping leaders rise above the noise. Here in the heart of Omaha, strategy isn't left to chance. It's engineered with precision. In Omaha, we engineered your Zachner brand, AI-powered, data-driven, precise. TISA went from a local nonprofit to a national speaker in 90 days. We don't guess your brand strategy, we build it. On the shores of St. Croix, your brand takes on depth and meaning, shaped through curated retreats and legacy experiences. In St. Croix, strategy becomes soul. Our retreats don't just refine your message, they rediscover your mission. One founder rewrote his entire company story here. Funding followed 30 days later. This is where leaders remember who they were meant to be. In vibrant Miami, momentum meets amplification, transforming your voice into a movement. In Miami, your brand becomes a movement. Business development accelerators. Audience building. Joy came with an old website and an outdated company name, but she left with 5,000 followers and a waiting list. This is where you scale with soul. 3 cities, 1 mission. Your legacy ignited. It started with a thread. Let's pull it together. Stop blending and start leading. 5-Star BDM, where legacy is engineered, embodied, and ignited. Visit 5starbdm.com and book your brand audit today.
In today's fast-paced financial landscape, access to capital is the key to success. At the heart of this revolution is Case Capital Markets, powered by SETI Case. Here, innovation and investment converge, creating a dynamic environment where businesses can thrive and reach new heights. Introducing Grant McGaw, the senior advisor at Case Capital Markets. Grant is a visionary leader, dedicated to connecting businesses with institutional capital and strategic funding. His expertise opens doors to game-changing investment opportunities, making him an invaluable partner for companies looking to scale and succeed in the competitive world of finance. With an impressive 25 years in technology, 9 years in healthcare, and 6 years in investment banking, Grant McGaw has a proven track record. He has successfully closed over $500 million in high-value transactions, seamlessly bridging technology, healthcare, and infrastructure with innovative financial solutions. His experience is a testament to his ability to drive success. Case Capital Markets offers businesses direct access to over 32,000 venture capital firms, private equity funds, family offices, and institutional investors. This network empowers mid-market companies with under $100 million in revenue to scale beyond their limits, unlocking unprecedented growth potential. Debt, equity, growth capital, public offerings. These are the building blocks of the future of capital access. Whether you're scaling a business, seeking investment, or exploring market expansion, Grant McGaw is your trusted partner. Together, you can unlock capital and create long-term financial success. The future belongs to those who take action. Are you ready to elevate your business? What if leadership wasn't about titles, but trials? What if your breakthrough lay beyond fear? In First Light, The Brave Path to Authentic Leadership, embark on a journey of courage, truth, and purpose. Face the wolf. Hear first thunder. Wield the sword and shield. This is more than a book. It's a calling. Are you ready for First Light? Are you searching for a website that truly reflects your mission and vision? The 5-Star BDM Website Services portfolio, led by Grant McGaw, transforms ideas into impactful digital platforms for personal brands, nonprofits, and small businesses. Each project in our portfolio tells a unique story. From JADICC, a infection control expert organization with professional polish, to Ekaba World Community, a dynamic hub for events and memberships, and Pink Lotus Project, empowering women with donation and program features. Every site is crafted using our Brave branding framework and mobile-first development. Our portfolio is more than a gallery. It highlights project context, purpose, and measurable outcomes. We demonstrate brand consistency, strategic user experience, and deliver results that build trust and drive engagement. A world-class portfolio proves capability, sets you apart from competitors, and positions you as an authority. It is your most trusted sales tool and reputation asset. Ready for a website that leads with purpose? Book a discovery consultation or request a brand audit today.
The 5-star BDM LinkedIn social selling course can help you stand out and attract the right connections and opportunities. We will help you professionally create your profile, provide personalized recommendations for improvement, and help you create and share engaging content to help you showcase your skills and expertise. Our 5-step course makes connecting with industry experts, finding job opportunities, and building meaningful relationships easy. Social selling can be an effective way for you to generate leads and close deals, but it does have its challenges. Our course will help you solve the problems associated with digital networking. If you need help personalizing your outreach and messaging, which can lead to low response rates and a lack of engagement. If you need help targeting the right prospects, this course is for you. With so much noise on social media, it can be challenging to cut through the clutter and get your message in front of the right people. Our course will personalize your messaging using our targeting tools and research. You can identify and reach the right prospects. We will also show how to deliver high quality, valuable content that attracts and engages prospects and clients. The 5-star BDM LinkedIn social selling course will address these challenges by implementing best practices. As a result, you can improve your social selling efforts and generate better results. Are you looking to improve your LinkedIn profile and reach a wider audience? Social selling is an effective way for you to generate leads and close deals, but it does have its challenges. Some common problems we saw with social selling include lack of visibility. If your profile is not optimized or you're not actively participating in groups or sharing content, it can be difficult to get noticed on LinkedIn. Number 2, lack of personalization. Some businesses struggle with personalizing their outreach and messaging, which can lead to low response rates and a lack of engagement. Also, difficulty targeting the right prospects. It can be difficult to identify and target the right prospects on social media, especially if you don't have access to robust targeting tools. And number 4, outdated content. If your LinkedIn profile or content is not up to date, it can give the impression that you're not actively engaged on the platform or that your skills and experience are not current. And lastly, poor quality content and not leveraging video and picture to convey ideas. To solve these problems, the 5-star BDM LinkedIn Optimization Social Selling Video course will help you focus on personalizing your outreach and messaging to better connect with prospects. In module number 1, the foundation, we will help you create high quality, valuable profile that will attract and engage. In module 2, the story, optimizing your LinkedIn profile to make sure it is complete, accurate, and visually appealing. In module number 3, the experience, using your targeting tools and research to identify and reach out to the right prospects. In module number 4, engagement, establishing a consistent follow-up process to nurture leads and build relationships over time. And lastly, in number 5, execution. Understand the metrics to help you measure your brand effectiveness. By addressing these challenges and implementing best practices, you will improve your social selling with the 5-star BDM LinkedIn Optimization Social Selling course. Listen to what others have said about 5-star BDM.
Grant, I'll tell you why I'm here, right? I'm here because I love your brand. When we started chatting on LinkedIn, we connected. I checked you out and I go, man, this guy knows what he's talking about.
You were definitely instrumental in helping to shape that knowledge of who I am. Because at first I thought, well, I am an actress. I am a writer. I am a producer. I am a speaker. And so I said, well, I must be a creative communicator. I know that there is a narrative thread here, but you nailed it when you said you are a storyteller. So you brought it all together in this cohesive title.
Sign up today to improve your social selling opportunities.
Your story is powerful. Your brand is valuable. Your business deserves to be seen, heard, and followed. The Black Business Olympics has given you the stage, showcasing Black entrepreneurs speaking on stage, networking, and leading their businesses. Now, let's take your business even further. With the Black Business Olympics logo and clips of past events and inspiring speakers, we celebrate the power of visibility and the impact of your unique story. Introducing 5-Star BDM's exclusive video creation services designed to transform your Black Business Olympics appearance into a powerful marketing tool. Our dynamic approach includes behind-the-scenes shots of video editing, branding consultations, and social media marketing. We take your business story and turn it into a high-impact video that attracts clients, builds trust, and opens doors to new business opportunities. With polished content, testimonials, and high-energy graphics, your brand will shine brighter than ever. Our process is simple and effective. Step 1. We extract the best moments from your Black Business Olympics speech. Step 2. We craft a compelling branded video with your business details, call to action, and testimonials. Step 3. You receive ready-to-share professional content for social media, websites, and email marketing. With our AI-enhanced video marketing strategies, your message reaches the right audience at the right time, so your business grows while you lead. Hear from successful entrepreneurs who have worked with 5-Star BDM. After working with 5-Star BDM, my brand awareness skyrocketed. My Black Business Olympics talk became my #1 lead generator. The video they created gave me the confidence to pitch my business to major investors. Game-changing service. These testimonials showcase the transformative power of our services and the success that follows. Your business is your legacy. Your story matters. Let's make it unforgettable. Use your videos to land deals, grow your online presence, and dominate your industry. The message is clear. Get your custom video today. Visit 5starbdm.com. 5-Star BDM. We build 5-star brands that people will follow. Are you ready to be next? Email Black Business Network for your special pricing.
Hey everyone, it's Grant McGaugh, CEO of 5-Star BDM and host of the award-winning Follow the Brand podcast and TV series, where I help you to build a 5-star brand that people will follow. My genius is personal brand development through intelligent communication and helping you achieve your business and career goals. I am a requested speaker on digital technology and brand development issues. I want to work with you to increase the value of your current opportunities while attracting new ones. Every one of you is unique, and we all share challenges that can be addressed through smart branding. As a super connector, I worked with you as an executive coach to guide you along the complicated business and career development road, providing the enhancement tools and information you need to succeed. Together, I will help you succeed in today's challenging business climate. I will evaluate and measure your progress. Best of all, I am right alongside you every step of the way. Build the brand called you. Genius is coming. Tune in for our next show or click on our website at www.5starbdm/followthebrandtv. Thank you.